WBT Garage. WBT Garage. WBT Garage. WBT Garage.
No matter what angle you look at this car from, it looks absolutely unreal. This design is just perfect. Honestly, it's incredible. But if you look a little closer, it's kind of like an old beater. Threads sticking out, messy stitching. This part isn't finished. That part is held on with screws. This panel is screwed on too, and all these plastic pieces. Both bumpers are covered in these spiderweb cracks. But what's interesting, this car has 0 miles on it. Hey guys, welcome back to WBT Garage. Today I'm going to tell you about a very interesting car, and more broadly about a completely different market, one we haven't really covered in any of our previous episodes. I think my first real encounter with an American car was back in 2015. Back then I was pretty active in drag racing. I had a C6 Corvette Z06 with the LS7 engine. It was heavily modified, and altogether it was making over 1,100 horsepower. But every time we showed up to race, it just wouldn't go. Something was always breaking, falling off, and after we did the full Shaman dance around it, that Corvette would eventually do 60 to 120 in about 4.3 seconds. So that was my personal trauma with American cars in general. And frankly, in the collector world, there aren't that many American models today that have any serious value. Some of you wrote in the comments that we only show cars that cost insane money. Today, we're showing you this car on purpose. So this lineup isn't just full of cars that cost an arm and a leg, but also cars that trade on average around 50 to 80 grand. This particular car is worth $80,000. The C3 generation of the Chevrolet Corvette was built from 1968 to 1982. Just imagine, this body style stayed in production for 14 years. In fact, this was the longest running Corvette body style. This particular Corvette is from 1982, the final year for this body, and it was built as part of the Collector Edition series. It has certain features that the standard Corvettes didn't have. First of all, the paint. As you can see, it has this chameleon finish. The leather is special too, along with the badges and the wheels. So every single thing was made specifically for the final edition of this Corvette generation. Overall, in the C3 generation, they built a little over 26,000 cars, and only around 6,000 of these 1982 collector editions. So you can already see this edition is much rarer than the standard C3 Corvette. But here's the thing. Even though a lot of these cars were produced, not many were really looked after. Because the cars that are preserved, maintained properly, really cared for, those are the ones that will hold value. I'm not saying they'll skyrocket, but here's what matters. Besides the fact that this car can just sit there, look beautiful, and hopefully gain value, it's also fun to take it out once in a while. Just floor it and go. Whoa! So what's the downside? Before the mid-70s, these cars were built without emission standards. So back then they had powerful engines, 350 horsepower and so on. As for this specific model, it was one of the first Corvettes with electronic fuel injection, but this 5.7 engine makes only 200 horsepower. This was done because of the new emissions regulations. But what's the most interesting thing about this car? Get this, like, built in 1982, This car has 0 miles on it. Since 1982, it has driven less than 40 miles. It's brand new. It's so brand new that the original plastic seat covers are still here inside the car. The same covers they used when it left the factory. On the doors too, and look, there's still a warning label on the sun visor. See that? A warning label from 1982. I'm not even going to remove it while filming this episode. You see this? It's all covered with cardboard. But not just any cardboard, it has Corvette written all over it. So this is exactly what a Corvette looked like if you bought one in 1982. I wanted to unwrap it on camera, actually. But then I thought, nah, I'm not doing that. Because the moment I take these covers off, I might instantly lose 20 or 30 grand of its value. Because, you know, it feels like these covers were preserved for a reason. Just let that sink in for a moment. For 43 years, nobody touched them. And now I'm supposed to be the idiot who rips them off on camera? No, thanks. You'd be surprised to know that I keep my TV remote in a plastic cover too. Well, let's get back to the specs of this car, all right? Well, you could say like, listen man, these days any 1.2-liter turbocharged engine makes 200 horsepower. This car seems kind of outdated. 5.7 liters, 200-something horsepower. It doesn't pull, it doesn't handle either. Right? C3s have a big problem with their composite bumpers. They are made from the fiberglass, so after all these years, even if the car hasn't been used, the camera probably won't show it, but both bumpers are covered in these spiderweb cracks. And it looks really strange. This material looks pretty rough. I had an urge to repaint it, but then I thought, damn, if I start messing with it and repainting things, it's not gonna look good at all. Here's what we have under the hood. I have to say, it's pretty awesome. No, maybe it's just me, or maybe we've got more weirdos like me watching this channel. But I can't hold back when I see a car from 1982, a car that is 43 years old. And despite everything, it looks brand new. Every single sticker is intact. Everything is in its place and in perfect order. Also, check this out. There's a light. That's great. The manufacturer knew that the owner of this car would be looking under the hood quite often. That's thoughtful. Good job. Anyway, back in 1982, this car sold for around $23,000. But the Collector Edition was only available by pre-order, and you couldn't get a discount. And after all that, pre-order, full price, and this is what you get. Honestly, it's underwhelming. Now let's compare. Porsche SC, same year, $29,500, but the difference is huge, night and day, between what Porsche was doing at the time and what was going on in the United States. If you take a closer look, you'll see, for example, horrible sealant application. It's all messy and patchy. The way everything is made, I'm honestly at a loss here. It feels like this isn't a Chevrolet, but some old beater. For God's sake, how could they? You pay 120 grand in today's money and end up with this half-assed car that looks like it was thrown together in someone's garage. There's one more thing that annoys me about this car and American cars in general. When I'm driving, say, a 1989 Porsche, it's completely quiet inside. No squeaking, no jingling, no tapping, not a single noise. But American cars are horrible in this sense. If you've got a thing about unwanted sounds in your car, then American vehicles are not for you, and the Corvette especially. Because look, this is basically a brand new car. It only has 57 miles on it. and yet everything around you is rattling. The seats, all this plastic. Do you see how it's done? Here's the exclusive leather I mentioned. Can you see how it's fitted here, how messy the finish is? God damn it, were you in a rush? All these parts are held on with screws, here and at the top. This panel is screwed on too, plastic pieces. In all fairness, some parts are metal and they look pretty decent. But all the plastic parts are just horrendous. Let's take a look at the features. There's a temperature gauge, fuel level, oil pressure, and battery voltage. We've got air conditioning here. A sound system, outdated. Because in '82, there were better stereos on the market. Check out how fast the windows go up and down. I think this car is the champion in that department. We've got a 4-speed automatic here. This exact model had the latest version of the transmission. On average, this car gets about 7 to 8 miles per gallon. And that's if you're not pushing it too hard. Sure, there are some positive things too. What are they? The sound, right, because if we compare it to the Porsche again, the Porsche barely makes any sound at all. It just farts and grunts a bit. But this is a V8. This is a V8. It has an insane silhouette. In my opinion, the C3 is the most beautiful Corvette body ever made. Have you ever seen a C3 Corvette in real life? Because I'm not at all sure that the photos or videos can convey how beautiful the silhouette really is. No matter what angle you look at this car from, it looks absolutely unreal. Do you see how it narrows here, then widens at the fenders, how beautifully the line drops down, then those side fenders, that stretched out hood, you sit inside, you see all those muscular lines, and it just feels so cool, so impressive. And you can also do this, boom. The only thing that bothers me is how the headlights are designed. I mean, it's very cool that they pop up. I usually like this style, but something about this look doesn't quite work for me. But that's a matter of taste. Overall, everything is very well balanced. An insanely beautiful car. I don't know, guys. Whenever I take it out, I just enjoy it so much, especially since you can easily take off the roof. One lever, done. And just like that, open roof. It's magic. And here's how you open the trunk. That's a new car, just saying. So you lift the rear window and hold it like this, because if you paid an extra $6,000, you could have had a Porsche and wouldn't have to hold anything. But you paid only $22,000, so deal with it. And hold it. The gas cap is in the back. Beautiful. By the way, listen, I want to hear your thoughts. When you see this car, what kind of owner do you imagine? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious. Because when I see this muscle car, I imagine some big, brutal guy. He pulls up to a bar, leather jacket on, and gets out of the car, orders a mug of beer, takes a sip. A pretty blonde sits down next to him, and they leave the bar together. They hop into this car and drive off into the sunset. It's just such a great feeling.